Hi friends, I'm Robert. Let's talk today about design feedback. So feedback is one of the most important tools that help us grow, improve our work, and create an environment of trust on team. So we are stronger when we work together. Other people have ideas that would never have occurred to us. However, criticism often becomes vague and destructive, which can really demotivate. Understanding how to receive feedback and identify which one is worth acting on is an essential part of the designer's work. As you work in the design, you invest a lot of effort and time in the project you're working on. So it's totally expected that your initial reaction to the feedback could be very personal, emotional, or even defensive. Because, well, it's your creation that's been criticized, right? And it's quite natural to react that way. But instead, try to calm down, listen to feedback, and revisit what has been said. And know that you can get fantastic results if you learn how to receive and work with the feedback. Knowing how to receive and act on feedback is part of the designer's job and is also what differentiates good and bad designers. But before diving into feedback, you need to build a safe space where people can freely express their own thoughts, and it's very important for gathering constructive and honest feedback. Besides, meaningful criticism of design takes effort to create. So it is very important that everyone understands the value of feedback and design quality in general. So the usual place for getting design feedback is a design crit or design review. They're an essential part of the design process that helps the team to be on the same page about what is being designed and also helps designer understand needs of a team, users, and existing limitation. This is how it works. You share the context and project goals. You show the work and everything that is important and related to that. People make notes and ask questions and comment. And while receiving positive but vague feedback and statements like, oh, that looks cool, or good job, I like it, it sounds and feels pleasant, but it doesn't help you much. People tend to give you positive general comments if you will not specify upfront what kind of details and feedback you're looking for. So tell people exactly what you're looking for from them before design crate or design review session. Maybe you're not sure the concept reveals the intention behind it well enough, or you want them to critique in terms of design, consistency, and compliance to the design system, or maybe a visual side of things in your concern. As the person requesting feedback, you must lead that process. Identify goals, know problems, potential solutions, and surface them for others, then ask for their input. By asking clarifying questions, you give yourself the opportunity to better understand the point of view of the other person. Do not be afraid of stupid questions and constructions like, did I understand you correctly that? This is a trusted psychological approach to clarify communication. It's called reflective listening. Always ask why and try to dig deeper to the core of comments and questions. Make sure to write down and, if possible, record the feedback session itself. This will really help you remember the feedback the next day, and it only shows your appreciation for the feedback you're getting. Make sure you collect all the details, use cases, or personas mentioned, everything you need to consider in your work. Sometimes feedback could be meaningless, subjective, or even toxic. Surely every designer has heard comments like, I don't know what is wrong, but I don't like it at all. Or, I don't like your choice of colors. A great way to avoid receiving comments like that is to begin your presentation by describing the problem space. Always bring discussion back to the formulated problem or goals that you have for the project. And also include other people in the conversation and see if they all agree with what's been said. Designers often begin to protect their work when they receive any kind of negative feedback. Immediately add in new information, explain your decisions, and highlighting all the limitations. This not only derails the conversation and the feedback, but also stresses the person giving you feedback. So as the recipient of the feedback, try to speak as little as possible. Do not interrupt the speaker, let him speak, and write down all of your thoughts. Any controversial issues or stuff you don't agree with can be discussed later, and you will have enough space and time for that. Thinking takes time, so don't expect rushed feedback to be thoughtful. Give enough time to the person who is giving you feedback so that they have the opportunity to dive into the context of your work and just think. Ideally, submit mock-ups and relevant information about your project before the design review session itself. It is very important how you act while receiving feedback. Don't take even harsh comments as a personal attack. The harshest feedback could be the most insightful sometimes. But if you answer in your defense, the next time a person may not feel comfortable giving you anything meaningful at all. Remember that every criticism is a gift, and thoughtful feedback takes time to create. Be grateful that someone took the time and effort to answer your request for the feedback. The work is not over when the critique session ends. The next step is to address the feedback you heard, but don't do it right away. After collecting feedback, it is time to look through all the notes, ideas, and suggestions that you have. Give yourself some time to think. Do not rush to make any changes to the project right away. And new designers often perceive each comment as an action point. Take in and implement your thoughts without any critical review. Design is the search for balance between aesthetics, function, solving business and user problems. A lot of times there is no one right decision, and remember that everyone makes mistakes. Learning how to ask for, receive, and give constructive feedback will help you to see the gaps in your work and will help you grow as a professional. And taking feedback as a constructive criticism will help you eventually see the faults in your work and make you generally a stronger designer. You will see gaps in your work and grow as a professional.